Okay, so you want the perfect downswing. We just did a video where we talked about what creates the perfect backswing, so go check that out. This is kind of part 2 to that, really just walking you through what creates the proper downswing, right? We've talked about this a lot with the pump drill and driving the butt end of the golf club and what creates shallowness. It's a very popular thing right now with shallowing the golf club. So we're going to walk you through what the hands are doing, what the body's doing. So it's really the only video you'll ever need for getting the proper downswing. So again, I'm fully loaded. We've talked about that with our backswing video.
His weight should be favoring, like if you imagine like the center of his stance here, the weight should be favoring towards the lead foot, about 60% at the very top of the swing.
Centered rotation, right?
Exactly. So from the top, the very first thing is that you're starting with the outer part of the lead ankle and the inner part of the tray ankle. So what he's going to do is he's going to allow his lead ankle to kind of like roll the outer part of the lead foot. There you go. Let the lead knee start to go backward as the trail knee pins inward. What that's going to do is that's going to allow you to basically pull the claws and the club back to pre-impact. So it helps you get in the right, basically gets the momentum going in the right direction to this point. Now from here, he's going to allow his trail knee to actually work in a sense backwards to allow his trail leg to extend, and that's where the club is going to get its release of the leg into the turf. Then when he comes through here, we'll go to post impact and hold that. Weight you can see is on the outside of lead foot. He's going to roll up with the toe here. Same thing here. You could put like a shaft down like with the grip on the outside of his trail foot because of the weight being pinned in. Now from here, he can allow his trail heel to release. Let the trail knee pin to the inner part of the lead knee. And the idea here is that when he finishes, one thing I like to talk about is that with the trail heel, it shouldn't be to where the trail heel is rolled over too much. You see that a lot with amateurs from over-rotating.
Right.
So it's important that the foot is basically vertical or still slightly kicked inward to keep the separation between these to minimal.
Got it.
If we go to side view real quick, let's just show them that. Okay, so same thing. Good. Start with the outer part of the lead, inner part of the trail. Good. We're pulling.
Where's the butt end of the club going
here? So the butt end of the golf club. So as he is basically getting this direction going to the outer part of the lead heel.
My shoulders are staying back, right? Like I'm holding my back to the target.
The reason why the back is able to stay to the target is because he's going to drive the butt end of the golf club out at the target line. So because if the butt end is going outward like this, it keeps the trail elbow pinned in. The trail shoulder is naturally going to work under. And then from here, when he goes to go, basically he's going to do that move where we talk about where the trail arm goes from bent to straight, keeping the trail wrist cupped. As he does that, he's extending that trail leg and pushing off the ground. And the spring effect of the club up, and then let the right or trail heel release a little. There you go. It's a nice, perfect balance finish there. It's awesome.
Still tilted.
Correct.
Almost like draining that water, like we talk about, right?
Yeah, exactly. Actually, let's go back up to the top one last time. Just kind of recapping from that drill we did earlier about if we allow the butt end to go, so we start with the feet. Yep, get the knees going. The butt end of the club's going outward at target line. If he allows the trail ear to basically keep draining water out of, there you go. He's going to hold the water draining, basically, like we'll say this is like his little waterfall here. Now go ahead and just let the club release to the finish. Yep, keep the water there. Good. The club will pull him through to his finish. That's perfect. You can see his hands are finishing out in front of his body, not wrapping too far around his body, because he's keeping his connection.
What about the whole adage, like, keep your head down?
So
that's bad advice, right?
The thing is just, when people think of it, you're not just going to want to stare straight and never move your head at all. That's where we talked about the drain of the water gives you some mobility, but keeping the head centered to also allow your body to rotate in a centered way.
Gotcha. So I've got my push pull, maintaining push pull. So I'm still keeping that trail index finger hooked back. Lead thumb pulled back.
Exactly.
Maintaining that as I'm kind of driving that butt end of that club out at the ball. I'm not starting with the shoulders either.
No. The shoulders are always in isolation from the top, and that's because, again, the swing triangle and the hands and the club are all moving outward, and that, again, allows your upper body to stay in tilt, especially with the draining the water. That basically is the way to keep the upper body isolated.
So really it's just like when you get up here, if you drive the butt end out, then, or not even really like out, but more just at the ball, that's really what holds those shoulders back.
Correct. If the butt end of the club starts pulling straight down, that's because the trail shoulder is getting out on top. And now from here, if he tries to recover, there's really nowhere he can go from there.
And sometimes people have to even feel like they're driving it like out that
Or even
way,
on-
right?
Yeah, we talk about
We
the
talk about
45-degree angle, you know, because that really helps to, in a sense, maximize your lag. And, you know, when you think about it too, it's almost like a rubber band. If you get up to the top, actually, you go up to the top one more time. It's a good analogy. Imagine a rubber band or like a bungee cord being on the inside of his lead heel, and it's attached to the butt end of the club. So as soon as he activates his lead ankle and his trail ankle, all of a sudden it's pulling that butt end right down in position. Now, if he again counteracts by going more outward while he pulls even more backward here, there's just
tautness.
more torque and more possible, you know, potential energy
And
that
then
you
it's
can
just
release.
boom.
Yeah, exactly.
And then
It's
releases.
so important. Again, you think of it as feet and knees, then the hips. So the feet and knees basically get the hands and arms, everything coming down to pre-impact. Then when the trail leg goes from bent to straight, that's where the trail arm goes from bent to straight. And then we get a proper sequence of everything with the body, the claws. and the
Gotcha.
club.
Nice. Sweet. Hopefully that helps.
Yeah.